When we get past 60, something curious happens. Some people hardly change anything in their diet. They keep walking, doing their tasks. And even so, the belly starts to arrive slowly. Pants get tighter around the waist, shirts cling more in front, and you think, but I'm not overdoing it. Why now? And this is where a type of fat comes in that a lot of people don't even really know exists. It's not that little fat you can grab with your fingers, just under the skin. That one's annoying too, but it's another story. The problem is the fat that stays hidden deeper inside the belly near the organs. That's the one that usually messes with the body in silence. It affects blood sugar, increases inflammation, interferes with the heart, blood pressure. It still gives that feeling of tiredness that docents seem to match what you do in your daily life. The good part is that this inner fat usually responds faster when you give the body the right signals. And after 60, strangely enough, you may have an advantage. The body becomes more sensitive to some simple triggers, as long as you use them the right way, without craziness and without suffering. Today, I'm going to show you a very down-to-earth protocol with 5 strategies that fit into a normal routine. No crazy diets, no starving, and no workouts that leave you wrecked. The idea is to tweak things that really make a difference. Timing, combinations, small habits that seem silly, but that change the course of your metabolism. And there's one detail that stands out. The most powerful step, the one that speeds up results for a lot of people, isn't what you eat. And it's also not how much you exercise. It's something you do in 15 minutes without equipment that helps the body stop storing fat right in the belly. Before we start, tell me in the comments, how old are you and where are you watching from? I like to read because it helps me understand everyone's reality and adjust the tips to real life. Now let's get straight to the point. I'll start with number 5, which many people get wrong without realizing, and this mistake. After 60 usually comes at a high cost around the waist. Many people hit their early 60s with the feeling that their body shifted gears. You do the same things, eat more or less the same, you're not overindulging. And even so, the belly shows up with an ease that's frustrating. And what almost no one realizes is that, at this stage, it's not just the amount of food that matters. The body becomes more sensitive to some daily signals: timing, sleep, stress, how you distribute what you eat, and that can either help or hurt the fat that hides right in the center of the belly. So let's go straight to the point with number 5, because it seems simple, but it's usually the first domino that knocks the rest down. After 60, protein isn't just gym stuff, it's a maintenance tool. It's what helps you hold on to muscle mass, and muscle mass is like a little engine running all day long. It's not that you need to become an athlete, not at all. It's just about understanding a logic that many people get backwards without realizing. They go through the morning, eating things that are too light, rush through lunch, and save the good stuff for dinner. Then the body goes all day without getting the right signal to preserve muscle and keep metabolism more active. Over time, this becomes a cycle. Less muscle, lower energy use, and more ease in storing fat right in the middle of the body. The adjustment here isn't eating protein every now and then, it's creating a rhythm. Think of your day as 3 key moments where you're going to send a clear message to your body. Hold on to muscle, keep the engine running. And that message gets much stronger when protein is really present in each meal, instead of being concentrated only at the end of the day. And where do most people slip up? At breakfast. Some people wake up and go on autopilot. Bread, toast, cookies, cereal, fruit alone, coffee with sugar. That gives quick energy, but it also fades quickly. Hunger comes back early. The body goes on a roller coaster, and you start snacking without noticing. And constant snacking at this stage of life is a little push for the belly to keep being the body's favorite spot to store energy. So, the most practical step is, make breakfast start with a source of protein. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be there. 2 eggs already solve a lot, and you can switch it up however you like. Thicker yogurt with something added also helps a lot. white cheese, a simple smoothie with protein, or even dinner leftovers, depending on the person. Some people find it strange at first, but then notice they go through the morning more steadily, with more energy and less urge to hunt something down in the kitchen. At lunch and dinner, the idea is very down-to-earth, a portion the size of your palm as the base of the plate. It can be chicken, fish, leaner meat, eggs, or options like lentils, chickpeas, well-prepared beans, tofu, whatever makes sense for you. The detail is that this base comes first, and the rest of the plate is built around it. Vegetables, greens, a portion of carbs that you tolerate well. But the anchor is the protein. And this isn't to get strong, it's so the body doesn't go into that economy mode that makes it easier to accumulate fat in the center. One thing that helps a lot, and few people do, is keeping protein easy, because in theory, everyone can eat well. The problem is real life. If you get home tired, open the fridge, and there's nothing ready, you'll go for whatever is quick. So it's really worth taking a day to make your week easier. Cook some chicken, and keep it shredded, boil eggs, portion out beans, keep a can of sardines or tuna in the pantry. This isn't being fussy, it's strategy. The simpler it is, the more consistent you'll be. And there's a wonderful side effect of this, number 5, satiety. When the meal has enough protein, you, Dan T, get that feeling of I ate, but it feels like I didn't eat. You feel more stable, and stability is gold when the goal is reducing belly fat, because the body stops getting constant signals to store energy. Now, number 4 is usually the one that surprises people the most, because it doesn't sound like a weight loss tip, and that's exactly why it works so well for many people. Temperature. There's a difference between fat that just stores energy and a type of fat that helps the body burn energy to warm itself. The body isn't dumb. When it senses mild, controlled cold, it needs to produce heat, and to produce heat, it burns energy. The interesting thing is that this burning can be activated with really simple things, without craziness and without suffering. We're not talking about becoming an ice hero or torturing yourself. It's mild cold, that feeling of, oh, it's a bit cooler, but you're still fine. A practical way is to set aside a time of day, usually late afternoon or early evening, and let the environment be a little cooler. It doesn't have to feel like a fridge. Just don't stay in the heat all the time. Sometimes, just lowering the room temperature a bit already sends this signal. Another simple idea is to finish your shower with a few seconds of water that's colder than you usually use. It doesn't need to be freezing, just enough for your body to notice the change. A lot of people do this and notice something immediate. The body feels more awake afterwards, like it perked up. The secret here is adaptation. If you've never done this, don't start trying to do everything at once. Start with a short time and increase as you feel comfortable, because the goal isn't to suffer, it's to send a signal to the body. And another thing, if you're more sensitive to cold, that's okay. You adjust. What doesn't work is ignoring this kind of trigger completely and spending the whole day in maximum thermal comfort, because then the body doesn't need to burn anything to adjust. And after 60, any smart little signal that increases energy use without exhausting you is welcome. But there's one piece that ties number 5 and number 4 together, and that greatly speeds up results when you get it right. Number 3, which is the timing of your meals. A lot of people think the problem is only in the what, but the when affects the body in a strong way, especially as we age. If you spend the whole day eating a little here, a little there, snacking, having a meal, and then drinking something with sugar right after, then eating a cookie, your body spends the whole day getting the same message. Energy is coming in. No need to dip into the stock. And the easiest stock to access, and the most stubborn to go away, is usually the fat that sits right in the center, deep inside the belly. The practical solution is to create an eating window. It's not starving, it's not punishment. It's just concentrating your meals within a certain part of the day and giving your body a real break during the night. A lot of people do really well starting with a wider window, like 12 hours. For example, if you have breakfast at 8 a.m., you finish your last meal around 8 p.m. Just that already changes a lot, because it eliminates the habit of eating late when it's not necessary. Then, as you adapt, you can shorten that window a bit. Some people feel good with 10 hours. Others do well with 9. It doesn't have to be a rigid rule. What matters is stop eating all the time and allow your body a block of hours. When it's not dealing with food, because then it switches tasks. It stops processing incoming and starts using what's already stored. One detail that makes a difference is avoiding having your last meal right before bed. When you eat too late, your body goes to bed working, and that messes with rest. And poor rest at this stage is one of belly fat's best friends. So the idea is simple. Finish your last meal with some time to spare before lying down. That helps you sleep better and also helps your body enter a mode that is more favorable for using stored energy. And during this time outside the eating window, you don't have to suffer. Water is your best friend. Coffee and tea without sugar can work for many people if you tolerate them well. What you avoid is turning that period into a snack annex, because then the window is just for show and the body dozing. Tea get the rest. That makes a difference. See how these three things connect? You distribute protein the right way to preserve muscle and control hunger. You use a touch of temperature to wake up the body's energy use without killing yourself with exercise. And you organize meal timing to give your body real rest and stop triggering storage all day long. Just with that, many people already notice a less bloated waist, less desire to snack, and a feeling of a lighter body, not by magic. But because the body is finally getting consistent signals, and now that the foundation is set, the next step is one that many people underestimate: the gut and the right type of fiber. Because that changes hunger, changes blood sugar stability, and helps unlock the belly from the inside out. Let's go to number 2. Now, number 2 is the one that seems like a nutrition detail, but behind it is something that runs your body all day long. Your gut, and I know this topic sometimes sounds boring or distant, like something out of a magazine, but in real life, it's simple. When the gut is well fed in the right way, hunger becomes more manageable, blood sugar stays more stable, and the body stops acting like it's on high alert. And guess where that alert usually shows up first? Belly fat accumulation. Here the focus is soluble fiber and foods that act as food for the good bacteria. Soluble fiber is different from the fiber that just helps you go to the bathroom. It has a special trait. When it meets water, it turns into a kind of gel inside the digestive system. This slows down absorption, prevents those energy spikes and crashes, and gives a feeling of fullness that doesn't depend on willpower. It's like you can finally feel satisfied without having to fight your own body. And the best part is that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You start with 2 or 3 very simple choices. Oats are a classic, beans and lentils are great, and seeds like chia and flaxseed help a lot. But there's an important detail about flaxseed: the way it comes whole. Many people don't even benefit from it properly. The ideal is to use it ground. You can buy it already ground and store it sealed, or grind it at home, whichever is easier. 1 tablespoon a day is already an honest start. And if you're not used to it, go slowly, because increasing fiber too fast can cause gas and discomfort. It's not that it's bad, it's just the body adjusting. Now, the real trick of number 2 isn't just the fiber. It's combining fiber with those so-called prebiotics, which are foods that feed the good microbiota. And here we have very everyday things: garlic, onion, leeks, asparagus, and even options like slightly green bananas, depending on your taste. You don't need to eat everything, nor become a slave to it. The idea is to pick 1 or 2 and repeat them often, because the body likes routine. The microbiota responds better when you stop surprising it and start giving the same signal consistently. Let's make this really practical. Because theory doesn't slim your belly, a simple way to fit this in would be, in the morning, you're already working on number 5. Remember, so you add protein and together fiber. a thicker yogurt with a spoonful of ground flaxseed, or a smoothie with protein and a spoonful of chia, or even oats with a protein base. At lunch, if you can include beans or lentils a few times a week, great. If not, you can add a salad with onion or a saute with garlic and onion. At dinner, a dish with vegetables and a portion of beans, chickpeas, or lentils wraps up the day really well. The secret is to stop thinking of eating fiber as an obligation and start thinking of it as building your plate in a way that keeps the body calm. And there's one more thing. Soluble fiber likes water. If you increase fiber and keep drinking very little water, the body complains. So it's that basic care. Nothing extreme, just keep drinking water throughout the day. That alone already changes your energy, skin, digestion, and in the big picture, helps the bigger goal, which is reducing central fat accumulation. Now, before we move to number 1, I want to remind you of something that brings confidence to this journey. You, Dan T, need to do everything perfectly. You just need to repeat the basics. Many people get lost because they try to become a whole new person on Monday. Then Thursday comes and they give up. What works is choosing one step, getting it right for a few days, and then adding another. That's how the body trusts and responds. And now comes number 1. This is the one that surprises the most, because it doesn't seem like a weight loss method, but it targets something that, after 60, weighs a lot more than most people imagine. Stress and the body's alert signal. Some people don't consider themselves stressed. Oh, I don't even get angry. But the body doesn't understand stress only as fights or worry. It sees it as rushing around, broken sleep, overstimulation, constant bad news, quiet lingering anxiety, and even that tension in your chest that you don't even notice. And when the body lives in this alert mode, it makes bad decisions for your waistline. It tends to store energy, tends to crave easy food, tends to mess with your sleep, and one thing leads to another. So number 1 is breathing the right way, controlled and focused on the belly, not the chest. It's simple, but it has to be done properly. And I'm going to explain it in a way you can do today. You sit in a comfortable place without slouching. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. The idea is that the hand on the belly moves more than the one on the chest. You breathe in slowly through your nose, hold for a bit, and breathe out through your mouth even more slowly, like you're gently blowing out a candle. That long exhale is what sends the calm signal to the body. It's like you're saying, it's all good, no need to stay in emergency mode. If you like counting, you can use a rhythm. For example, inhale while counting softly, hold briefly, and exhale counting longer than you inhaled. It doesn't have to be perfect. What matters is that the exhale is longer. That's what changes the body's state. You repeat for a few minutes. Some people start with 5 minutes and already feel their body relax. Over time, you can increase it until you're comfortable doing 10, 12, 15 minutes. And timing makes a difference. A great time is right after waking up because you start the day more grounded, more centered. And that prevents the early spike of anxiety that makes people start snacking. The second good time is in the middle of the afternoon, when a lot of people feel an energy dip or crave sweets. Instead of going straight for food, do this breathing for a few minutes and observe what happens. For many people, the craving goes down, not by magic, but because the body leaves the "I need a reward" now mode. And here's an important detail. This isn't therapy. It's not mysticism. It's not guru talk. It's a physical habit. You're changing the body's rhythm. You're telling your system, you can relax, and when the body relaxes, it makes better decisions, sleeps better, feels less emotional hunger, handles timing better, and then all the other steps become easier. Protein is no longer a struggle. The eating window feels natural. Fiber doesn't feel like punishment, and even the temperature idea becomes more acceptable because you're less reactive. Now put everything together in a simple image. You have a breakfast that actually includes protein, not just fast carbs. During the day, you eat within a more organized window without snacking all the time. You include soluble fiber and prebiotics in a practical way. And at some point, you use mild and safe cold to give your body a little boost. That's it. This is a realistic protocol. If you do this for a week, you'll already start noticing changes that don't depend on the scale. Less bloating, less random hunger, more stability. And when you stick with it for a few weeks, that's when your waist really starts to change. Now tell me something in the comments. Which of these steps seems easiest for you to start today? Breathing, adding protein to breakfast, organizing your eating schedule, or working with fiber? Just write one, the one you're most likely to actually do, because what changes the body isn't the prettiest tip. It's the one that becomes a habit. And I'll tell you something truly honest. When you choose just one to start with, you're not doing too little. You're doing it the right way, because the body, especially after 60, doesn't like sudden changes. It likes consistency. And consistency doesn't come from motivation. It comes from simple routines, the kind that fit into a normal day. Maybe you've heard all this and thought, okay, but I've already tried other things and nothing stuck, and I get that. A lot of people try starting with the hardest stuff. They cut everything, starve, overdo the walking, suffer for a week, and then go back to normal. The problem isn't lack of willpower. The problem is the wrong strategy. Belly fat doesn't go away with punishment. Belly fat leaves when the body stops living on high alert and starts getting clear. Repeated signals that it can use what's stored. That's why I like this 5-part approach. It doesn't depend on perfection. It depends on direction. You don't need to get everything right on the same day. You need to stop sending mixed signals. One day you eat almost nothing. The next, you snack all afternoon. One day you sleep late. The next, you try to make up for it. The body gets lost. And when the body is lost, it stores, especially in the center. So, if I could give you a very simple plan for the next few days, it would be this. Start with the breathing, because it's the foundation. It puts the body in the right mode. 3 to 5 minutes is enough. If you can do it when you wake up, and again in the afternoon, even better. Then you adjust breakfast, making protein the base. It doesn't need to be gourmet, doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be doable. Next, you choose a realistic schedule tweak. Stop eating a bit earlier, reduce snacking, give your body a break. And once that becomes more automatic, you bring in soluble fiber and prebiotics in the simplest way possible. No overdoing it, just repetition. Finally, if it makes sense, you play with temperature in a light and safe way, just as an extra push. And remember this, your goal isn't just to lose weight. Your goal is to regain control. It's waking up and feeling like your body is on your side, not against you. It's looking in the mirror and noticing your waist is starting to respond. It's going up a flight of stairs and not feeling like everything is heavy. It's putting on clothes and having them fit better. And most of all, it's knowing that you're taking care of what's happening inside, not just what shows on the outside. Now, if one thing stuck with you, hold on to it. Visceral fat isn't stubbornness. It's a signal. It's the body saying it's getting alert signals. Disorganization, lack of rest, lack of muscle, sugar spikes. And when you swap those signals for better ones, it responds. It might be slower for some, faster for others, but it responds. If this content helped you, leave a like and subscribe, because I'll be bringing more simple, everyday strategies for those who want to age with more lightness, more energy, and less belly taking over everything. And remember, it's not about doing a lot, it's about doing the right thing in a doable way for long enough for the body to understand the message. See you in the next one.